Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. And if you remember last time, we had this job right here started. So we're going to go ahead and hit the road. And today, I thought we would talk about something that's kind of important. I'm hooked to a trailer, right? Yeah. Um, we're going to talk about something that's kind of important. Sleep. Sleep is very important, especially for this job. Um, I don't know if how many of you have had to deal with uh, things that truck drivers have to deal with, like hours of service. I know other jobs have that similar type of structure, I guess, or at least I think they do. You have to have so much time off before you can do more work. Let's turn them lights on so we don't get another ticket. um, and but yeah, as a truck driver, you can only run so many hours before you have to take a federally mandated break. Um, I think, quite honestly, the regulations for that are a bunch of crap. um, I I can vouch that since now, okay, everybody who has run paper logs has fiddled with their numbers at times. Um, but so I can vouch that since we've gone to electronic logs, it's a lot harder to get the sleep you need when basically you have to uh, show everything, or it tells on you. Basically, you can't do anything without the computer in the truck telling them what you're doing. Um, so basically, if you run a violation, it logs it for you. That's basically it. So I hit them brakes too hard again. Man, the nose of this truck is long. I've decided that this is no longer my favorite truck style. It's nice to look at, but I don't know. That long nose and that big old turning radius is not. Look at this. I mean, holy cow. Not user friendly. Anyway, so getting sleep. Um, Here recently, there's been talk about, as far as trucking goes, when you have to get a medical card to go with your CDL and everything to be able to drive commercial vehicles. Now, this is the United States. If you're watching this and you live somewhere else, I couldn't tell you what the regulations are in your country. I just know about where I live. So, when you go to get your medical card now, they're starting this thing where if you meet certain criteria, you have to get tested for a sleep apnea. Now, I do not by any means fall under the category under the category for a high risk, not even a moderate risk person for sleep apnea. They're looking for things like your BMI, your body mass index, your size of your neck, your size of your waist, all kinds of things like that. That being said, I actually did go and get tested for sleep apnea this past fall because, and this is what led to my experience with this. I started having problems oversleeping at work, and it was causing me problems. I've never been a morning person. I've never really felt rested when I woke up. Didn't matter if I slept 4 hours or 14 hours or anywhere in between. I've never felt rested when I woke up. and woke up and I was ready to go, just jump up and go, unless like I overslept and realized, oh crap, I'm late, I'm gonna get in trouble, blah blah blah. No, like I mean on a weekend when I've never felt rested when I got out of bed in the morning. So anyway, started having trouble oversleeping, and finally I said, okay, I'm going to go to the doctor and find out what's going on. Why is it all of a sudden I'm oversleeping? None of my habits have changed. I need to make sure there's nothing going on. So I went to the doctor, and they asked me a bunch of questions, and they have this little questionnaire you fill out where they ask you the questions, I guess, as far as if you've ever had things happen, like if you're sitting up somewhere watching TV, do you fall asleep easy? If you're reading a book, do you fall asleep easy? Just different things like that. There's, I forget, 7 or 8 different scenarios, maybe 10 different things they ask you. But okay, I was going to say speed limit did drop. I knew it looked like it was coming up to a lower speed zone here. So I'm finding it very difficult to focus on driving in the game and then focusing on my topic with this night driving, because it's hard enough to drive at night on here. Sometimes stuff's hard to see at night, just like in real life. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, they ask you questions, and that gives them an idea of, like, okay, for one of the major symptoms of sleep apnea is snoring, and I think a lot of people snore. I don't think that necessarily means that all people that snore have sleep apnea, but that fact that it's a major, symptom of it should raise questions. But anyway, so I got, like, I forget, 2 or 3 things on that list that they asked questions about that, we might get to pull into a weigh scale here. Let's see. It's going to tell me here in just a second. Nope, we're good. Scale's closed. A little thing pops up there at the top of your navigation thing that tells you if you have to pull in. Anyway, so I had a couple of those things on that checklist. So they said, okay, we want to test you for sleep apnea. We want to do I did an at-home sleep study. They could also send you to the hospital and have an overnight one done there. It's a lot more expensive that way, but so we got the at-home sleep study thing, and I did that, sent it back. They called me back, or went in for my follow-up doctor's appointment a couple weeks later, and they said, okay, you do have a touch of sleep apnea. They said, and ironically also found out I had a weed allergy. But yeah, when they sent me to, besides doing the sleep study, they sent me to the hospital that day after my first doctor's appointment for this, and drew 14 vials of blood out of me to do blood work to test for different things. I did have a vitamin B12 deficiency that I'm getting shots for, and they, like I said, they told me I had a wheat allergy, which was news to me. I knew I had seasonal allergies that I dealt with, and this road is 70 miles an hour. Doesn't seem like it should be, but okay. I dealt with seasonal allergies, and I actually when I started driving truck, I went and started getting shots for that, and after I was on shots for 4.5 years, kind of weaned myself off of them, and been doing pretty daggone good ever since. Haven't been on shots now for over a year, I think, and doing just fine. So anyway, back to the sleep thing. They said I had a touch of apnea, and that I should get do the sleep study thing, and or no, we did the sleep study at that point. They wanted to try me on a CPAP machine. That's where we're at. And I had heard about these things, a little bit, but it's kind of funny because since I got mine, and I've mentioned it to a few people that I have one or whatever, that it's like everybody and their brother all of a sudden says, "Oh yeah, I have one of those. I know somebody that has one of those." And I don't know. It's just weird. It's like one of those taboo things where unless you bring it up, nobody's going to talk about it. um, but man, I will tell you what, that thing made a difference of night and day. The first night I used it, and my wife said I don't snore anymore, so that's a bonus. But man, I'm telling you what, if you're like me and you couldn't, and you've had sleep issues where you don't feel rested when you get up in the morning and stuff like that, go get tested for sleep apnea. I mean, man, I'm telling you what, if I'd have known before that getting one of these machines was going to help that much, I would have done it a long time ago. I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to the wearing the thing at night or whatever. I don't have a stop sign here, do I? But my goodness, it is so worth it. And here's something that's kind of funny. The first couple of nights I had it though, now granted I said it made a big difference and I noticed it right away. I did have a little bit of trouble at first with getting the mask adjusted properly. And one night I drew it down too tight, I think, and I way overshot this turn. Get in there. I never looked at my thing. How much? Oh yeah, I still got like 6 hours to deliver this, and we're here already. Okay, where do they want this thing? So anyway, oh, it's a nice easy park too. Awesome. Okay, so let's swing out here. But yeah, get that checked out if you have issues. But anyway, sorry, I totally just backtracked what I was saying because I'm trying to back this trailer up and I forgot where I was. Yeah, so I wore the mask too tight one night, I think, and while I was trying to get, it is really hard to see to back this trailer straight with that exhaust right there. Okay, I don't like this truck anymore, and we're gonna see about changing our preferred truck design before the next job, because I don't really care for driving this one anymore. It might look cool when you get it all like optioned out and stuff, but man, it's hard to see to drive it. But yeah, anyway, the mask was one night. I got up the next morning. Hey, we leveled up, and I noticed a spot on my nose, like the skin was, rubbed raw. So, and that developed into a, let's see, what do we want to take? Let's let's work on our hazardous cargoes, I think. Well, maybe, you know what? Let's get a high value, a fragile, and a just in time, and then we'll do the rest of our hazardous. Or maybe we'll come back and do a long distance before we go to the rest of those. But let's do high value for now. Apply that. Now I want to, I started to say before about this, I want to wait until I get this $400,000 loan unlocked, which might take us a few levels before I do that and we go owner-operator on this thing. So we're going to just jump straight to the next job and get a start on it at least, unless we find a quick trip here. Let's see, we have this one, what's our rate? It's 1478. That one's going to take a little while. I don't know that I have time to do all of that right now. That's a little 3-hour trip. That one's a little shorter. It's clear down there though. Man, it's really a lot less of. You know what? If we have to, we'll just take a break in the middle of the trip. Let's go ahead and do this one. Now, do we want to do that one or we want to do this one? Because that's basically the trip we just did. So we don't want to do that. Let's do this one. That way we'll cover some new ground. It pays the same. So, yeah, let's do that. Take job. That's the great thing about being an employee or a company driver is it starts you out at your beginning of your trip location instead of having to. Oh, I forgot to change the truck thing too. Instead of having to drive and pick up your trailer. Let's swing it around here. And the only thing is, since it's not my truck, I have to remember to turn the lights on every time. So, anyway, left a spot on my nose with the mask the first couple of nights, and it has taken weeks, and it is still not 100% healed, but I'm going to have a nice little scar right on the bridge of my nose from that spot. It just takes a while to heal when you're putting the mask back on every night and stuff like that, but the fact that I have that there, people keep asking me what happened to my nose, brings up a lot of conversations about the CPAP machine, and that's how I said that, it seems I'm all the time running into people now that say, oh, I know so-and-so has one, or I have one, or whatever. I still overdo it on the brakes on this thing. But yeah, anyway, so that's my story about my CPAP machine, and that has all taken place within like the last month. Well, we're waiting on traffic. So, here we go. Let's jump out there. Alright. So yeah, maybe you guys have experience with that or something similar. You can leave a comment below, let me know about it. If you should choose to. Feel the desire to, get involved in that conversation. I need to slow down just a little bit. But yeah, as I started to say in the beginning though, these hours of service rules they put on us truck drivers, when you get on, electronic logs and you have to run legal, you definitely get less sleep. Those rules I'm sure work fine for certain driving jobs, but not all of them. I mean, there's different types of driving jobs that those rules don't all work just as well for. Okay, I'm gonna jump out in front of that guy. But anyway, that's my rant about that, my story about my sleep apnea that I've recently discovered. And yeah, make sure you're getting good sleep. And if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel rested when you've had a full night's sleep, you should definitely get that checked out. I'm telling you from personal experience, it is well worth it. I mean, I'll give you this. If you're not sure about, well, how much is that going to cost? Okay, well, I can't vouch for how much your doctor charges as far as getting the tests and all that stuff. Now, my at-home sleep study test itself, now I have to pay all this out of pocket because I have a high deductible on my health plan thing, and it's I never met my deductible paying for this stuff. But the at-home sleep study test was $200 for me, and now like I said, I'm not guaranteeing that's what your thing will be if you go get this done. So I don't want to hear anybody come back and saying, you said get this done, it only cost this much money, and it wasn't. It was $500. Well, that's not my fault. But yeah, I paid $200 for that, and the CPAP machine. Now the people I went through, I'll tell you, it's on a payment thing, but the overall cost for the machine after I make all the payments, and then the machine is mine to keep. Now there's maintenance items on it like mask seals and the hose that connects the mask to the machine, and there's air filter on the machine. All that kind of stuff is maintenance costs, and there's that. But the machine itself is going to cost me, I think it's around $1,200. Again, it could vary for you based on where you're at, your health insurance and all that stuff. I can't say anything for that, but I'm just telling you, it's well worth the investment. It is well worth it. So, anyway, that's that. I am actually, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to pull over here right alongside of the road and park the truck, and we will continue this trip next episode. So we'll see you guys then. Till then, have a good one.